And tell me, hotels or running an airline, what is more stressful?
Look, both have their own levels of stress, but give me a hotel any day of the week over an airline.
Really?
Yeah, look, I love the experience, and I've done a few things outside hospitality. I worked in at Resorts World as well in the attraction business, and then later on in the casino business. Um, but no, I love hospitality. I love taking care of our customers. I love welcoming our customers and having a chat with them, seeing what they're up to, what brings them to the city, and how we can make their stay more enjoyable.
Hello, my name is Renae Leith-Manos. Welcome to this podcast, Where to From Here, featuring conversations about luxury travel and how it's changing in every pocket of the globe.
Hi, guys. Well, in today's episode of Where to From Here, we're going to Singapore and we're talking to a fabulous and inspiring GM who I actually met here in Australia in Sydney. I don't think this man spends any time in Singapore where he actually works. We have some mutual friends in Jakarta, and he travels the world and runs two of the most fabulous hotels in Singapore. Without further ado, Theo Ocks, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Renee. Great to be with you.
Yeah, great to be with you too. And I have to pull you up right away on your LinkedIn profile because you have a quote on your LinkedIn profile that says, "Nothing happens until somebody sells something." What does
That's
that
it.
mean?
Well, no, it's true. I believe in that. It all starts when somebody sells something, right? Be it a room, be it a table in a restaurant. That's when everything else starts springing into motion. Without sales, we don't need front desks, we don't need restaurants, we don't need anything because we first need to get somebody to come to our hotel. And that's when the magic happens.
Absolutely. No, I mean, I guess it's the basics, the foundation, isn't it? So
Yeah.
does that mean you're particularly harsh on your sales staff? Are they like the focus of your?
Well, you'd have to ask them.
Yes.
No, I don't think so. I'm demanding. I've my standards, and look, if you, as long as you work hard and try to meet those standards and try your best, then we'll get along just fine.
Yeah, that
And
makes sense.
and and deliver customers, of course.
And where do you draw those standards from? Because you've worked in so many different locations around the world. You were in Europe for a long time. You're
Yeah.
now in Singapore, and you've had many destinations in between. What location or what property or what brand has had the most influence on you, do you think?
I'll probably want to say Ritz-Carlton. Obviously, I was in Jakarta at Ritz-Carlton over there, and then I opened the second Ritz-Carlton in Pacific Place. And just the culture in Ritz-Carlton is phenomenal, and that's really where you have to fit in with the passion there. If you don't fit in, it gets often described as a little culty. I don't agree with that, but there is definitely a very strong culture within Ritz-Carlton brand, and I think
And what aspects of the culture make people, label it as potentially culty? Like, what do they actually do that creates this incredible philosophy amongst the staff?
yeah. So there's a couple of things. So first of all, you've got the morning lineup over there, where you talk about everything that's happening in the hotel, but also how can we make the guest journey better at every level. And I think what I loved about my time in Ritz Carlton, everybody from the bellboy to a dishwasher to a sales manager, everybody wants to be the best at what they do, and it's incredibly invigorating and electric to work with a group of people that all have that ambition, whatever it is, that whatever part of the guest journey you contribute to. And it's something we try to obviously emulate here as well. I think Fairmont as a brand has been on an incredible journey. We've had some incredible new hotels, and I'm seeing very much that similar approach to running the business back in Fairmont.
Interesting. And do you think that the Ritz-Carlton actually selects people who are driven and at the top of their field, if you like, or do you think the culture makes them that way?
Well, it's a bit of both, right? You
Yeah.
attract by being the way they are. They attract a certain kind of people. But Ritz-Carlton also selects, or at least in my day, they used to select. It was quite a vigorous interview process with an external company that would do a behavioral interview to see if you fit, if the answers that you would give would correspond to the answers their top performers give.
Mm. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
fascinating. Yeah, I'm
it's
really intrigued by that. And do they have an outside company that actually work with them to hire the right people and create this culture?
they do on the interview process, yes. Oh, they used to, at least in those days. I don't know if they still use that, but
Yeah.
it's it all starts from the top, right? If you when I was with them, the CEO at the time was Simon Cooper, and his mantra was the behavior we encourage shapes the culture of the company, right? And to me, that says it all. And
I agree.
he lived his life that way, and lived the company values that way.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Hmm.
So, what's the most surprising luxury destination or hotel trend you think more travelers should have on their radar in 2025, 2026?
Um, Look, a couple of things, both on hotel visits in resorts as well as cities. You see different trends. Um,
Yes.
I,
And
I
you've
th-
worked in both.
yeah, and I think by and large, the one thing that we see that is coming up in both is the wellness aspect, right? And not just
It's big,
wellness
isn't it? It's
from
huge.
going to a spa. More and more hotels have things like decompression chambers when where you can float in salt water in one of those eggs and really relax after a long journey. A lot of the spa facilities are starting to border almost on medical. I'm going to say almost because obviously medical is highly regulated and we're not hospitals.
Yes.
But certainly, spa is not anymore about a relaxing massage. It's about rejuvenation and longevity and real wellness and
Yeah.
healthy mind and a healthy body.
Absolutely. So tell me about the spa offerings at Fairmont and Stamford.
Well, it's very exciting actually because we're about to go into a renovation for that. We're next year we're going to be spending about $9 million to renovate what is today called the Willow Stream Spa. Uh, Amazing spa, but it's and very good therapist. But it's time for a refresh, and we've been working with Studio 1508 out of London to completely redesign the spa and
Beautiful.
that's going to be in 26 where we're going to do that. So that's very
Fantastic.
exciting. Um, the whole wet areas and basically the lounge spaces are going to be completely reimagined. We have quite a lot of space, so that's fortunate. So we can really create a destination spa, which once completed, I'm sure will rank amongst the best in Southeast Asia.
Wow. What are the special things about it that are different? The wet areas, the
Yeah, so complete refurb of the wet areas, complete reimagination of the surface. To be honest, we're building two small indoor pools in there as well into the wet
ice
area.
baths?
Sorry,
Ice baths?
ice baths.
Yeah, ice baths.
Oh, sorry,
Plunge the
ice
ice
baths.
baths.
Sorry, yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Ice baths are available as well, and then there's a
Do you
number.
do those? Do you do those?
Well, look, I used to when I lived in Dublin, I used to swim in the water in front of my house. That's pretty cold.
Wow. Yes.
So no need for
Yes.
ice baths when you do that. But I haven't done ice baths here in Singapore.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
It sounds beautiful. And the other thing I wanted to ask you about was Kirk Westaway, your Michelin star chef, who's just wonderful. His
Yes.
restaurant, John, that's just celebrating 10 years this year, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really an incredible journey, right? 10 years, which we celebrated recently with a nice event with some of our most loyal customers, including a beautiful photo opportunity on the helipad above the 70th floor. Look, it's
Wow.
been an amazing journey, right? Kirk is such an inspiring character. He originally hails from Devon. When you ask, what does modern British food look like, right?
Yes, I was
Um,
just going to say.
people find having a hard time imagining that, but it is really amazing. Obviously, a lot of the cooking techniques are French oriented and French inspired, and what he does is he looks at the meals that he grew up with as a child, and then re-inspires them, reimagines them. We've got, for example, we got a potato leek soup, which is one of his signature dishes, and it
Mhm.
is nothing like a potato leek soup you've had anywhere else. It's a complete reimagination of the dish, and an amazing one, and one of my favorites.
It's a testament to his skill that the restaurant has been there for 10 years. Because even if the food is absolutely incredible, and obviously it is, getting people there on the concept, as you say, of British food is really challenging. Because, with the greatest of respect to the UK, because I love the country, it's not renowned for its food.
No, not
So he's a,
necessarily. No, and like I said, he's been amazing with that.
yeah.
Going 10 years, two Michelin stars, and still going strong.
Yeah,
No,
that's amazing. And what do you do? Because you've been going strong for a really, really long time. How do you wind down? How do you escape from the hotel life? Because are you living on site at the moment, or?
no, no, no. I live offsite. Well, look, when I get out, I like to play padel. So I do that 2-3 times a week,
Mhm.
either in the morning or late in the evening. I love it best, frankly, when I get a morning game in, because that's like starts at
Yeah.
like 7 o'clock. Come into the hotel about 8:30, and then you start your day energized. Um,
Yes.
I'm not a golfer. I like doing sports and activities where that truly take your mind away from your day to day.
Yes.
So that's padel, which I really enjoy because you just have to be focused on what's happening on the court. And then the other thing I like to do, although I have to say I do it fairly unsuccessfully, is kite surfing.
Oh, amazing! And you do that in Singapore, in
Well,
Sentosa,
no,
or?
I found I used to do it in Ireland and in Singapore. Unfortunately, the winds aren't good enough. So you can go
Right.
across to Indonesia to do it, which I haven't had enough time, frankly, to do. But I used to do it in the Irish Sea.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
So how long were you in Ireland?
6 years altogether. So I originally moved to Ireland to join Aer Lingus, where I was head of sales and distribution. Really incredible experience. It was during a time where the airline went from being state-owned to being acquired by IAG. So I was involved there with the transition team to IAG. So looking at whether we would come back to One World and all those type of things. I was
Right.
lucky enough to be to lead the partnership with the IRFU, the Irish Rugby Federation, at the beginning of what has been a very successful run. So we got
Amazing.
great leverage on that, and we were running what we called the Smart Way to the USA, which was promoting Dublin as a hub to travel from there to the United States, and that was incredibly successful. So very interesting. Ultimately, I decided that I wanted to come back to hospitality. And so after Aer Lingus, I joined Kempinski Hotels out of Geneva. Um, since the job involved a massive amount of travel, I never actually fully moved to Geneva. I did a lot of my travel from Dublin, and then just spent the time that I needed to be in Geneva in a hotel.
Wow. God,
Yeah.
that's very transient, hectic life.
Yeah, look, that's what it is. The good thing is, when you travel a lot yourself, then you can empathize truly with your guests, right? When they
100%.
arrive late at night, all they want is quickly as possible get their key, get their room, have that room in working order. Nothing, AC working properly, all those things that everybody takes for granted. But they
Yes.
have to work when it's not, and then when it's not working, it's frustrating.
No, absolutely. And tell me, hotels, or running an airline? What is more stressful?
Look, both have their own levels of stress, but give me a hotel any day of the week over an airline.
Really?
Yeah, look, I love the experience, and I've done a few things outside hospitality. You know, I worked in at Resorts World as well in the attraction business, and then later on in the casino business. Um, but no, I love hospitality. I love taking care of our customers. I love welcoming our customers and having a chat with them, seeing what they're up to, what brings them to the city, and how we can make their stay more enjoyable.
Absolutely. And was it a big decision to move to Southeast Asia after so long and such success in Europe?
Well, I've actually been in Singapore. This is my third time living in Singapore. So originally, the first time I came was 2005, opening the Novotel on Clark Quay, and then I left to join Ritz-Carlton, and years then went back to Europe, and then came back in a regional capacity for Marriott. Left again for Aer Lingus, and then came back here 4 years ago now. So look, I love both. I love
Yeah.
how everything is within 2 hours flight in Europe, which is amazing.
Yes.
You get all these different cultures. At the same time, I think from for many hotels, I'm sure many hoteliers will agree with me that the hospitality industry in Asia is just so dynamic.
Oh,
And
especially at the moment.
yeah, it's just a lot more fun. You can do a lot more. There's a lot more investment that goes into hotels.
Yes.
For many owners, a hotel is not only an asset that they want to earn money on, but it's also a source of pride. They will have usually
Yes.
made their money in other industries, and for some owners, it's a personal pride to have a hotel asset and take their friends and entertain their friends in. And obviously, the return on investment has to be there. That's clear.
Yes.
But they look at a hotel investment very much from an emotional perspective.
Yeah. Yeah, amazing. And do you sit here now with aspirations for other destinations? I mean, how do you feel? What's your relationship like with moving around now, having done it so much?
Yeah, look, overall, I've been 8 years in total in Singapore. Probably about 15 years in Asia altogether. Loved it. There's a couple of places in the world that I would still like to see. I'd love to do a stint in South Africa. I'd love to go to South America at one point. Haven't been there yet.
Wow.
So look, we'll see. One of the reasons why I went into hospitality was also that I wanted to travel the world, and not as a tourist, but as somebody living
Yes.
in a destination for a couple of years. And
And
I've
you've
been
done that.
well, I've been incredibly lucky that people have had confidence to send me to different places, and I've been reasonably successful with them.
Very successful, I'd say. And when you travel, like in your personal time, I know that I've met you when you've been traveling corporate, and of course you stay in the hotels. But do you prefer to travel in luxury? Is that your thing? And do you have particular destinations now? Do you go back to where you've lived, or where do you like to go?
Sure. Well, look, I have four children, so they have a big impact into both where we go and where we stay, and they have their own personal favorite hotels. Um, Sometimes it works out better to stay in an Airbnb, so I don't shy away from that
Yes.
as well. Um,
Especially with four children and probably six of you, that's a lot of rooms.
yeah, exactly. So we always need at least two rooms, sometimes three. Um, so yeah, that obviously all adds up as well. But yeah, I mean, we've had recently on our way back from when we visit. What we try to do is when we go home to Ireland or Holland, we try to on the way back stop over a couple of days in one of the Middle Eastern destinations. So the last time we stayed in Abu Dhabi, stayed at the Fairmont over there, which was just fabulous. And that's because when we go back to Ireland or Holland, it's the whole social calendar, right? You're going
Yes.
you're going all different places, people that you want to see, family dinners, friends that you catch up with, and it can be sometimes more tiring than work.
I
So
understand.
then on the way back, if we get a chance to do a stopover in a destination, we really love doing that. So and Abu Dhabi has been great.
What do you think about the massive hotel development and just construction in general happening across the Middle East right now, having just been there, as you said?
Yeah, look, it's. I think it will continue to happen. I had the good fortune. I started my career in Dubai,
Yeah.
just when kind of the first wave happened there. I saw the Jumeirah Beach open. I saw the Burj Al Arab open during the time when I was there, and obviously it's incredible to see where that market has gone. And the amount of hotels there, and what they do there, how they do the hotels defies all superlatives. So, really incredible. Now you see what's happening in Saudi Arabia. They're doing that as
Yes.
well, and they're coming up with these incredible projects um, that will be amazing and will attract a whole new clientele. So yes, I think the Middle East is going to be a great destination. It always was, and I think it will continue to be. Obviously, provided there's some political stability in the region as well. But one of my
Yes.
personal favorites. I did my internship in Jordan, and,
Oh, wow.
and I love Jordan. It's I love the people. The country is amazing. The nature when you go to places like Wadi Rum or you go diving from Aqaba, it's just incredible.
Wow. Yeah, that you really have lived. It's wonderful. Wonderful to speak to someone who's just done so much. And I mean, given all of that, what is your personal why, the deeper mission or purpose that drives you? And as you said, you left the airlines to come back to hospitality. So
Sure.
what was driving you to do that and to continue in this amazing business that you're in?
Yeah, look, I think one of the things that was good for me working in an airline, it helped really for me to realize that I needed to be in a customer centric environment. And airlines, are not always super customer centric. Obviously, there are some really great exceptions. But I think we've all been in situations where, we've missed our flights or a flight got canceled or we're stuck at the airport and, you don't feel like anybody's helping you. And that is something that you just don't see in hotels, right? When you have a problem
Right.
with your journey and you're in a hotel, everybody will try to go out of their way to make sure
Yes.
that you get back on track again. So I
Yes.
think that was probably the key part that I realized I needed to be in a customer centric environment, and I needed to be in an environment where I'm working with people. Um, it's funny, I interview a lot of young people coming out of school and
Yeah.
entering the hospitality business, and typically one of the questions that I ask is for them to describe to me a birthday party in their family. And the reason why I do that is, when I grew up, when there was a birthday party in my house, I was in the kitchen with my mom, helping her prepare. And then when my aunts and uncles came in, you'd give them a coffee and cake, and then the next round
Yeah.
was a drink and a little shot of Geneva for my uncles, and it made me realize that that's what I was meant to do. Not be a servant, but do serve people. And and if you
Wow.
don't have, to me, if you don't have that little, voice in your mind saying that that's what you want to do, then hospitality is maybe not for you. Whether you're in a front, a customer facing position or not, I don't think it makes a difference. I think you,
Yeah.
deep down, you need to have that desire to please people and to look after people. Otherwise, hospitality is a very tough and unforgiving business if you don't have that.
And long hours too. So you want to be, happy with what you're doing. So how many people that you interview, what percentage actually want to serve people and understand, what that's all about? Is it a lot these days or?
Yeah, sure. Look, obviously, when you ask a question like that, people get a little bit surprised and it takes them back a little bit.
Yes.
But then once they start talking, you learn really interesting things, particularly, of course, in Singapore, people grew up very differently from how I grew up, right?
Yeah, right.
And sometimes it's, birthday parties. Oh, I book a restaurant, for the birthday party, and that's what we do. We don't do anything at home.
Yeah.
So then obviously I need to ask a few more questions to get to the point that I'm after. But now, look, the good thing is I think that there is still future in hospitality. Young people
Yes.
do still want to work in hospitality. So
Yes.
I think they need to find their joy, right? And I think
Yes.
there is a lot of joy to be had. There's a lot of fun to be had. Like I said, you work in a people environment, so there's so much fun with your colleagues that you have, and we see that. We're bringing in young people, and it works.
Absolutely. So, Theo, I have to ask you, what happens in your family when someone has a birthday?
Well, look, at the moment we're a little bit spread out because two of the
Right.
children are in Europe. And in fact, my eldest one, Kira, is celebrating her birthday this week in Holland, and neither of us will be there. So, but my dad is going up to celebrate her birthday with her. We'll send a cake, we'll FaceTime, and unfortunately, that's the extent of it. In this case, on top of that, she's got exams the next day as well, so it'll be a quiet one. But look, we try to do it all together. And I try also as much as possible that we have home dinners. It doesn't always work out, of course, in our business. But one of the things that we do when we are all home around the table, and it's something that my wife Emma installed, and that's best part of the day, worst part of the day, and did you help anyone? And when you go around the table there, first of all, it's a great conversation starter, obviously. But you learn things about what the children did or how they got on that otherwise you might not have gotten. So, yeah.
And where does that philosophy come from in her?
Look, I think it's just we are my wife Emma actually used to work as an air hostess with Emirates, so she's also been in similar businesses, and I think it's also we do teach our children also to help others, right? I mean, not just look after yourself, but look also around you. And if there's somebody you can help, then you should.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And before we go, I have to ask you, you speak, is it 6 languages, I think?
Yeah, some better than others.
I was about to ask, how well do you speak them and how much do you use them? Because that's an incredible accomplishment.
Yeah, look, well, the thing is, nobody wants to speak Dutch with me, right? So we have to learn our languages if we want to get by. So obviously my English is pretty good. French is fluent, German close to fluent, Spanish I would say 50%, and my Bahasa Indonesia is I can get by and I can understand what people are saying. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, because you lived in Jakarta, didn't you?
Yeah, I lived in Jakarta twice. Total of 5 years. Loved it. Love Indonesia. My eldest daughter was born in Indonesia, so we have a special connection to the country. I made a lot of great friends that I'm still in touch with today. It's great to see the country coming up. There's a lot of young people there. There's a lot of new tourism destinations that are coming up within Indonesia. So it's not just about Bali anymore, but there's a lot of new destinations that are coming up, and that's really great to see.
No, it really is. I want to go to Raja Ampat. Have you been there?
No, not yet. The furthest I was in that part was Lombok.
I've done Lombok.
One of the parts that I really love is North Sumatra. When you go to the whole Minangkabau area, Lake Toba, that area is really amazing. Amazing culture, amazing food, and amazing views that you see there, both from nature as well as how they build their houses there. The Minangkabau are people that have you'll appreciate this. They have a maternal lineage, so everything gets inherited from the female side and not from the male side, as you see
amazing
in places. So
Amazing. And tell me, any of your children following your footsteps into hospitality?
Not yet. My eldest daughter was thinking about it and was applied for my alma mater, which is Hotel School The Hague, and got accepted. But
Yep.
ultimately, after a lot of thought, she decided to study economics instead.
Okay. Well, she can always go to hospitality from there if she wants to, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Theo, it's just wonderful to speak with you. Thank you for your time. We ask every guest on the show a final question, where to from here? And it might be what you're doing today, your next trip you've got planned, or something new that you've got coming up for the hotels or something. So where to from here?
Well, sure. Well, look, the next trip that we are planning is actually, we asked the children, where do they want to go on the next break? And
Yeah.
They both said they want to go to China. They want to visit the Great Wall. So we're
Amazing.
planning a trip to do the Great Wall, but I've done the Great Wall a couple of times. And, if you go to the first or second station, it's pretty busy and pretty touristy. But when
Right.
you go a couple of hours further out, there's no tourists. It's amazing. And you can do some amazing hikes over the Great Wall. So that's in the
Wow.
planning, and we'll hopefully combine that with Xi'an, see the Terracotta Warriors. So that's the most immediate planning that we've got. And then for me personally, after Formula One finishes here, I fly to Las Vegas for IMEX, which is the largest media and events trade show in the world.
Oh, wow. Fantastic. Well, as I said in my intro, you're always all over the world. Whenever I speak to you or see you, or I know you're very, very global. So I'm honored that you found the time for this conversation. Really appreciate it. And I'm coming through Singapore. Actually, I'm taking my daughter to universities in the UK. So we might be able to catch up and have a break bread or have some tea when we come through.
Let me know when you're here. Be a
If
pleasure
you're
to
there.
host you, Renae. Huh?
Thanks, Theo. It's really lovely to speak to you.
Same here, Renae. Thank you so much.
Enjoy the Grand Prix.
Thank you. All the best.
Bye for now.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.
Don't forget to subscribe here and follow us on Instagram and Facebook for regular travel updates. You can also hear our episodes on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.